Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Get your fix. Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Tuesday, December 14th, 2021, and welcome to the show, whether that be on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. But hey, we have a decent amount to talk about today. I mean, today is True Identity Tuesday, where we're going to dive into a couple teams around the NFL in which I feel like we have we have a really good understanding of what their true identity actually is at this point in the season. It'll be interesting to see how True Identity Tuesday kind of goes forward the rest of the year, because now we're going to be seeing, teams winning their division, teams winning, winning their division, getting that playoff berth, solidifying themselves as a top seed, like the Green Bay Packers in the NFC. And then stuff like that. So we're going to dive into True Identity Tuesday. Today we're also going to dive into last night's Monday Night Football matchup where the Los Angeles Rams just took a beating. I'm just kidding. They didn't take a beating. They beat the Arizona Cardinals like I knew they were going to all along. I mean, I had them winning this game when we made our game picks on Fantasy Football Friday when John was here with me, and I was the only one to pick the Rams. I said, hey, I even said it last night, if the Cardinals are going to lose any other game this year, it's going to be this one, a division matchup. It's one of those things that it's going to be a tough one going into it. It's going to be a battle, and it was. It was a really, really nice battle. But before we get started, our Week 14 Pick'em results are in, obviously, because Week 14 is officially done and over with. So, hey, look, this week, Logan, guest host on Fantasy Football Friday with me sometimes, and myself went 9-5 in our game picks. Not the greatest of weeks, obviously, for picking. There's a couple there. I probably won't bet on the Jets ever again. There was a couple other teams I think I bet on obviously, picked that didn't win. But John, hey, one hell of a week from John. He absolutely destroyed his game picks. Could have went 14-0. He didn't. But 12-2. Let's fucking go, John. Hell yeah, what a job in your game picks did. I had no idea that was going to actually happen the way it did. I think he started off before 5. So he started off 9-0. 9-0. Just absolute ridiculousness from him. And then all of a sudden, Cincinnati decides to lose in overtime. So there's John's first loss. And then Arizona loses last night. So there's his second loss. 12-2. What a finish for his Week 14 game pick results. Making, the record just a little bit closer. He's, I think, 5 wins away from me. I am currently the leader in that category. I have like over 80 guessed right and 40, like high 40s, maybe 50 guessed wrong or something like that. So that race is getting a little closer. But John, 12-2 on his Week 14 pick'em results. Awesome. I mean, that's all I basically got to say. Hell of a job picking these games. So let's dive into it. Are you ready to get your fix? So last night we got to witness the Los Angeles Rams go to Phoenix to take on the Arizona Cardinals in a game where the final score was 30-23, in a game where Aaron fucking Donald, I mean, he's just laughable, folks. I mean, this man is ridiculous. He had 2 sacks, like literally right off the bat. Phenomenal. I mean, you can't block this guy. I even went and tweeted and I said, he makes it look easy. because it is easy for him. At least that's what it felt like, and that's what it looks like out there. I mean, the dude's 285 pounds with a fucking six-pack, probably doing backflips on his free time if he can. I have no idea. I mean, we see fucking Gable Steveson do backflips. We've seen Myles Garrett maybe. I don't know on that front, but I mean, hey, look, this is a very, very good game. Matthew Stafford balled out, 287 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. Sony Michel did okay as well, 79 yards. He had to step up in a big way for Darrell Henderson, who was out, I believe, with COVID-19. Now, look, the most interesting thing about this, and the most, like, I guess the coolest thing about this, having the Rams beat the Cardinals, is basically the Rams were without literally, you know, their whole team basically, it felt like. I mean, not all of them, obviously, but Jalen Ramsey was out, Darrell Henderson was out, Tyler Higbee was out. I mean, the list kind of goes on. I think 6 total players for the Rams were out, a lot of them starters, and the Rams found some way to win this ball game. And also, there was a stat last night that said Kyler Murray, when he throws, or when he has, I think, one turnover or 2 turnovers or something like that in a game, they typically don't do as well. They typically lose those ball games, and you can see there, I mean, 2 interceptions and a fumble for Kyler Murray. I mean, as bad as that is, he did play pretty solid, kept his team into it, or in the game till the very end. And you see right there, A.J. fucking Green, 102 yards receiving on the day. Absolutely fantastic job for him. Louis Riddick, what are you doing, man? So the game was going on. A.J. Green gets a couple balls here and there. He's moving down the field. He's looking really, really stellar. And Louis Riddick decides to say, hey, A.J. Green has hit the fountain of youth again. Shut the fuck up. Like, just shut your mouth. Like, no. I understand he's had a couple bad seasons, but you also got to understand, look, he's been riddled with injuries. He was on Cincinnati's team, who, you know, I mean, besides that one, I can't remember what year it was off the top of my head, but there was a couple years ago where they had like an 8-0 starter, a 13-0 starter, something like that, and it was just like, what is going on here? But since then, they really weren't doing anything. A.J. Green, I don't feel like has lost a step at all. And I think last night was a really good indication of that. 102 yards, 7 catches on the day. He didn't reach the end zone, but it's not always about touchdowns. I mean, obviously, if you want to win the game, it is. But for stats-wise, it's not always about that. How well do you produce for your team? Can you go out there and perform every single night? And he has the last couple weeks. And he's had to do that, especially with DeAndre Hopkins, you know, getting injured every once in a while. And then, obviously, last night Hopkins did get injured. He injured one of his legs. He's getting an MRI on that as we speak, I believe, either today or tomorrow, I want to say. But, I mean, I don't like that comment because I don't think, obviously, the fountain of youth you're talking about, oh, he's back in his college days. He's back in, you know, his early rookie season or first to third season in the league. Like, no, he hasn't hit the fountain of youth at all. And you know, I excuse Mr. Nash over there. He likes to bark when anybody wants to come inside. So he's just loud and obnoxious sometimes. We'll get that figured out, though, eventually. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe when we get a studio sometime, huh? But this is a fun game. Other than Aaron Donald being a god, that Rams defense played phenomenal. They had a lot of stops. Flew around wherever the ball was, made great plays. Kyler Murray couldn't do much against that defense. I mean, they were playing next level football, and good for them. I mean, it's tough to do what they did, but then also you look, Cooper Kupp here back at this graphic. Cooper Kupp, 13 catches, 123 yards, had a touchdown. He's balling out as usual. I mean, he's going to do what he can every single day. Every single Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and now we got games on Saturday because the NFL thinks, hey, Saturday games, you know, we're going to put teams on Saturday who have playoff or major playoff implications that can possibly, you know, help or not help their season. So we're going to move the game to Saturday. Don't understand it, don't like it. Move them to fucking prime time. Move them to Sunday night, Monday night, or Thursday night football, and then let them sort it out there. I mean, it is what it is. I don't mind it, but what are you going to do? I mean, you're not going to do much. But, Matthew Stafford also, what a fucking laser that man has. There was a couple throws in there where I was like, how did he really just throw that ball in like a window that was literally the size of the ball? It felt like it was literally like, here's the window. Imagine a square around this ball. I mean, I can't do this with, two hands. But imagine there's a square. He fucking fitted through there every single time. It was phenomenal throws. And his laser of an arm is next level. And I can't wait to see what next year's going to bring. 1 year under the system of Sean McVay being this is his first year. Next year, I think it's all going to come right away. It's going to be second nature to him. It's going to be fun to watch how he makes these throws. And we also get to see, does Robert Woods continue to be a Los Angeles Rams? How well does Cooper Kupp perform next year and stuff like that? Also in this game, OBJ had a touchdown. He's had a touchdown in each of his last 3 games, and that's the first time since 2015 that he has had 3 straight games with a touchdown. So congratulations to OBJ, where he's finally been rejuvenated, got out of that ugly Cleveland Browns organization who, I mean, not really ugly. I guess at this point he is, making up, or they are making up for what was, what once was in the 0-16 and like all those kind of shitty records over there. Cleveland Browns, I mean, they're an interesting organization. They did barely squeeze by with the win this week, but OBJ, I'm glad for him. He got out. Maybe this is the time to rejuvenate his career, rejuvenate his aura around there, and I think. Even there's a couple plays where Sean McVay said, "Hey, we're strictly going to Odell right here. Tell Odell he's by himself. We're gonna throw him the ball," and that's awesome. I absolutely love that because I think he deserves that opportunity. He deserves that chance to go out there and really showcase his skills and prove that in Cleveland all those drops. I mean, yeah, a lot of them were definitely his fault, but a lot of them were also. Not his fault. A lot of them might have been Baker's fault. A lot of them might have been, great defense around him. But Matthew Stafford fit one perfect fucking pass right between the defenders into his chest. Thought he dropped it. He didn't. Fucking first down. Good game for Odell Beckham Jr. and the Los Angeles Rams getting the win there. 30-23. Where now the Rams are 9-4 on the season. The Cardinals are 10-3. And there's some interesting little facts to go along with that. But we're going to get to that later with the playoff picture possibly here towards the end of the show. But we have to get to True Identity Tuesday. That is what today is all about, where we dive into some teams where I feel like we have a really, really good understanding of what is really going on in their organization. What is this team all about? And folks, today we have 3 of them, okay? And we're going to start right off the bat with the Carolina Panthers. Their true identity is a team with a quarterback problem. Matt Rule came out, I think, yesterday or today and said, look, we're still going to, have that happy medium of P.J. Walker and Cam Newton out there really just battling it out. Sam Darnold might make his way back in to the organization, back into playing field. But they have a quarterback problem. In back-to-back games now, they have literally went, hey, Cam Newton, you're starting. You're going to go out there and you're going to ball out and do the best you can. If you're not doing the best, see you later, PJ, you're in. And they've done that the past 2 games. And what would you know? Carolina, since having Cam Newton, or since signing Cam Newton, haven't won a damn game. Cam Newton is now 0-11 in his last 11 starts with the Carolina Panthers. Not looking, too hot over there. So hopefully that gets figured out there. I doubt it. But it makes you wonder, are the Carolina Panthers going to be in that quarterback race or that quarterback carousel where this offseason comes? Are they going to go in free agency and try to pick up a quarterback, one of the veteran quarterbacks? There's plenty of them that might be on the market. Or are they going to go into the draft where they're probably more than likely going to have a higher draft pick? Do they go out and select one of these rookie quarterbacks? And there's not many of them. I think, just see today a mock draft of one of the experts at CBS Sports, where it basically said, all right, we listed all the teams, the top 10 draft picks, and Carolina was right there. Like pick 8, I believe, pick 8 or 9, something like that. And he had the Carolina Panthers taking Matt Corral. I believe he's the Ole Miss quarterback. So, I mean, obviously there's not only fans around the league thinking, or around like the world thinking, oh, Carolina's going to go find a quarterback. No, experts with, the quotes around him, also believe the Carolina Panthers are going to go and try to find a quarterback, because obviously these 3 might not be working. We haven't got to see a lot of Sam Darnold this year because of the injury and whatnot, but at the same time, when he was in, it didn't look like, it didn't look like this Carolina Panthers team was all ready to rock and roll, if you kind of catch my drift. A lot of the reason of why Carolina might succeed with Sam Darnold there, maybe with Cam Newton there, maybe with P.J. Walker there, is because of one person, and that's Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is a big reason why the Carolina Panthers have success and have succeeded in the past. So, I mean, as much as the quarterback position might not matter too much for Carolina, it does, in fact, matter quite a bit. They need to go find a franchise guy. They need to do it quickly so that they can turn around this franchise. They've been to a Super Bowl before. They've won a Super Bowl before. Now they got to, figure out the ins and outs, and got to figure out their quarterback position. Their defense feels like they're just fine. They have obviously let off the gas just a little bit the past couple weeks, but they're still playing like they should. Their offense, though, I mean, you got Robbie Anderson, you got DJ Moore. Figure it the fuck out. Like, figure it out. Plain and simple. Get the job done that way. But Carolina, their identity is a team with a quarterback problem. So let's go over to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Look, 2-11 on the year. There's not much more to say than their true identity, or what they are actually all about, is a team that has a head coach who has completely lost the fucking locker room. Completely and utterly lost the locker room, and it's not even funny. I mean, it's a joke. Okay, first we had the old chop house incident where him and that young lady got into it. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna get on the plane. I'm gonna stay here. Okay, I'm gonna go check on the grandbabies a little bit. I'm gonna go check out my chop house, see how things are doing over there, and then come back. Get this whole, oh shit, Urban Meyer fucked up in his chop house. What's gonna happen? He goes in and gives this whole statement, this whole speech in a team meeting, saying, hey, look, guys, doing this. It is what it is. He didn't really explain it too much. Kind of babied him, made him kind of try to hide what actually happened. Everyone in the locker room fucking laughed him out of the room, out of the meeting. And right there, that was a red flag. Like, okay, this team really doesn't buy in too much to what Urban Meyer's doing. And then the season kind of trickles on. They get a win in London. They can't win in the United States, but they get one when they beat the Bills. I don't know how that happened. 9-6. But they haven't won since. They're 2-11 this year. And now reports are coming out saying, hey, Urban Meyer went into the locker room, had everyone, or not locker room, into like the meeting room, had everyone sit down and do all this, and said, hey, so what are your guys' success? Like, why do you deserve to be here, basically? And I got a couple rings here, and you guys don't. Okay, we're working for a Super Bowl ring. All you guys are losers, basically. This is the moral of the story. And Marvin Jones, a guy who I talked about this yesterday, who AJ Hawk said is completely like he would die for the team. He would literally lay his life on the line to support the team, to really, build into what they're trying to build over there. And once Urban Meyer wants to go and see everybody's accolades and achievements and what they've done throughout, their career in the NFL, or not even the NFL, in football in general. And Marvin Jones was sitting there and he's like, all right, done with this shit. See you guys later. Peace out. Walked out of the meeting room, and he doesn't do that. He's never done that. Right there, it tells me that the team doesn't trust Urban Meyer. The team doesn't buy into Urban Meyer. And Shad Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, had to kind of dive into this a little bit, had a meeting with all staff, all right, not all staff, all the coaches, that means head coach, defense coordinator, offense coordinator, wide receivers, running back, all those coaches had to sit down in front of Shad Khan, the owner, and probably take a verbal beating. Hey, this is enough of this bullshit that's going around, okay? Urban, stay out of the chop house. You're flying home with every team. Got it? All right, none of this bullshit. Who gives a shit about the achievements? This is the NFL. A lot of people deserve to win a Super Bowl or have deserved to win a Super Bowl in the past, a.k.a. Randy fucking Moss. This guy right here should have won a Super Bowl. He doesn't have a ring. Does that make him a loser? No, it doesn't. I mean, it's just, I can only imagine how that meeting went. Now, there's a lot of speculation that, Urban Meyer should be fired. He's going to be fired here soon. Shad Khan needs to take a stand. He needs to do this. And I don't think that's the best case in this point in time, especially you've let him go 13 games, 14 weeks into this season, not counting, training camp and OTAs and all that stuff. You've let him come this far, try to build this organization where it should be going. It's not going there. So I think at the end of this year, we can expect Urban Meyer to no longer be the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach. And I think that is it's a bold statement, but at the same time, I think it's the right statement. All right, it makes a lot of sense. Urban Meyer just isn't cutting it there. I know they're not that great of a team. I know they're a young team. They don't have an offensive line. Their defense is flying around. Their defense actually has some potential from what I've seen on film, basically, or from watching them Sundays, Thursdays and Mondays and seeing what they are actually capable of doing. That defense can play. But I think it all goes back to the head coach, and I think in a lot of scenarios, in a lot of cases, it goes right back to the head coach. What is he able to do? Can he make the team buy into what he's trying to do for the Jacksonville Jaguars? He's not doing that at all, and the team's had enough. I mean, shit, they benched James Robinson because he fumbled the ball. One time, 2 weeks ago, against the Rams, he fumbled. All right, you're done. No, you can't do that. He's your starting running back. He's the franchise running back, basically. He's coming off a year where he just blew up. He undrafted rookie, I believe it was last year or 2 years ago. I mean, he was absolutely on the top of his game. Just because of one fumble, you can't just say, all right, you're done for the day. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has thrown how many, we talked about it yesterday, 12 interceptions this year. Not at one point did he say, oh, Trevor, you threw a pick. Get the fuck on the bench. You're not playing today. There's a lot of sketchy situations kind of going into the Jacksonville's organization. I don't like it, and I honestly believe that it goes right back to Urban Meyer, the head coach. The Jacksonville Jaguars, their identity is a team with a head coach that has lost the entire locker room. And their next 4 games are the Texans, Jets, Patriots, Colts. Don't expect them to win any of them. I honestly believe the Jets are going to spank them. And I believe the Texans are going to spank them. Might be a little closer, but ultimately they're not going to win any of these games, especially against the Patriots. No way in hell is Bill Belichick going to let old Chop House Urban Meyer come in there and get a dub. It's just not going to happen, at least for what I believe. I just don't think that is possible at this point in time. So that's the Jacksonville Jaguars' true identity. So now, after Week 14 is officially over and done with. There's one team that, I was hoping, probably not only me, but the whole state of Minnesota was hoping was going to lose. They didn't. They beat the Chicago Bears, and in doing so, folks, ladies and gentlemen, the Green Bay Packers' true identity are the Kings of the North. They are officially... and it was probably never in doubt, obviously, with the start of their season and the way it was kind of going and stuff like that. There was no doubt that this was going to happen. But the Green Bay Packers are the Kings of the North. And the only way that they weren't going to be Kings of the North is if they lost literally the rest of their games, the rest of the season, counting that Chicago Bears one, because that way, Minnesota, if we were to win the rest of our games, we'd have the same exact record, but we would be 2-0 against Green Bay, so we would be the Kings of the North, but we're not. So, we're number 2. Good for us, but great for the Green Bay Packers. I got asked today, also at work, who do you think's going to be in the Super Bowl this year? That was asked by George. He's currently watching right now, and I said I already picked the Bills and the Bucks, but if I had to pick right now, probably Green Bay. And he, obviously the Bucks are up there. He thinks the Bucks are going to win. That's a very, how do you want to say? That's a very real possibility that could happen. I mean, you can't doubt this guy right here. You just can't put him in doubt at all, Tom Brady. But I honestly think Green Bay is the team to beat. They've been number one in my power rankings for quite some time. They're going to stay there until proven otherwise. One of my other coworkers showed me the NFL, or maybe I think it was ESPN's power rankings. They have Tampa number one, Tampa number one, Arizona number two, Green Bay number three. How does that happen? Arizona not only has lost to the Green Bay Packers, but now in the NFC Playoff Picture, they are ranked third. I understand that list is voted on by like 70 or 80 fucking people, but come on, can we get a more accurate power rankings? I mean, we'll get that tomorrow with, the Get Your Fix power rankings, obviously. I mean, how you doing? Keep it moving. Don't mean to, toot my own horn over here, but you'll get the real one. You'll get the one that's probably the most accurate. I don't know. It's just what this brain thinks is right on a piece of paper. That's basically how it goes. But Green Bay is the team to beat, in my opinion. They had that. If they don't lose, if they don't get the shit beat out of them by New Orleans Saints week 1, 38-3, we're looking at a Green Bay team who, 12-2 on the season instead, or 11-2, excuse me, instead of 10-3. All right. So, and look, Kings of the North, first in the NFC. Their last 4 games are pretty tough. They got the Ravens, they got the Browns, they got the Vikings, they got the Lions. Probably going to win them all if I had to guess. I mean, it is what it is. It sucks. I get to go to Lambos in person to see the Vikes take on the Packers. We're going to lose. It's just how the cookie crumbles. We already got one this year in U.S. Bank, so we can give them this last one. And they're going to steamroll the Lions, the god-awful Lions, who I think have solidified the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft, unless for some miraculous reason they start winning more games. I don't see that. Well, I could see that happening because Jacksonville, geez, if they get back-to-back first overall picks and they still stink next year, kind of reminds me of the Cleveland Browns. That would just be sickening. But those are the 3 teams I got for True Identity Tuesday. Like I said, it's going to be interesting what we do with it going forward the rest of the year, because obviously we can only do it while the season's going. We can't be like, when it's fucking March, April, and be like, the Green Bay Packers' true identity is that Brian Gutekunst needs to go have tea with Aaron Rodgers and settle some stuff, something like that. That's just not going to work. But for now, it is a work in progress. We'll continue to get better. We'll continue to dive in a little bit deeper to their identities of teams around the NFL. But now it is time to take a look at the NFC and AFC playoff picture, because it is week 15 this upcoming Thursday. So the playoff picture is getting set, and it is getting a lot closer. It is getting nitty gritty. I think this is the first, this is the closest playoff battle in NFL history, maybe. I think that's what it was said, or however many years, 30 or something years. It is ridiculous how close this race is. So let's get to look at the NFC playoff picture here, where the Green Bay Packers are currently the number 1 seed in the NFC. Will have home field advantage if this season were to end today. Would be absolutely huge for Green Bay, especially, in January. It's going to be cold as shit at Lambeau. No way Tom and Tampa or fucking Arizona or Dallas are going to want to go up there in an outdoor stadium in a fucking blizzard, -degree weather, in the frozen tundra and play some playoff football. It's going to be tough to to win. It's really going to be tough to win in Lambeau if that's the case. But that is the playoff picture. You see Green Bay number 1, Tampa number 2, and I believe Tampa's only number 2 because of a point differential or something like that. They, it's just, it is what it is. I'm assuming that's what it is. But then you got Arizona because of their loss. They went from 1 to 3, and they already lost to Green Bay. I don't know. They didn't play Tampa this year, so I think it's in jeopardy a little bit. I mean, you see Washington there kind of sneaking up on them. It could be a close one. But then obviously got Rams at 9-4, San Fran at 7-6, and Washington at 6-7. And then we got the 4 teams down there that are in the hunt currently: Vikings, Eagles, Falcons, and Saints all sitting at 6-7. Only need Washington to lose for the Vikes to move up, and the Vikes need to win this upcoming week against the Bears, which is on Monday Night Football. Should be a hell of a show. We'll see. But you see right there, Eagles and Washington, they're tied at 6-7. Saints, Falcons, Bucks, I mean, they're all right there. I mean, this is a close battle, folks. But this is currently the NFC playoff picture. If the season were to end today, this is who would be in the playoffs and who would not basically be in the playoffs. And it was just right there. But yeah, those are the division leaders, the wild card, and in the hunt. Now let's go take a gander at the AFC playoff picture, where we have the New England Patriots in the number 1 seed. Who would have thunk? Not me. I did not see this coming. But they're 9-4, tied with the Titans and Chiefs at 9-4. I mean, it's very similar. I mean, in the NFC, the top 3 teams are 10-3. In the AFC, the top 3 teams are 9-4. But I mean, in this basically, Ravens are 4 at 8-5. Then you got the Chargers, the Colts, and the Bills in there. And the Bills, man, they were once on top of everything. But boy, they might be sneaking their way out of that playoff picture. I mean, it is getting real. I mean, they might be dead. They literally might be dead. I don't know what's going on over there. But I mean, we talked about it. Run the damn ball, and maybe you'll win some fucking games. Okay? I mean, Jesus. I understand Josh Allen. Josh Allen is out there rushing for 109 yards or whatever it was. But I mean, that's your running back's job. Don't put your quarterback in that position. Colts are sneaking their way up there. I think the Colts are a legitimate team that could make a run in the playoffs, and I think they're going to have a really good finish to their season, to be honest. Chargers, I mean, Chargers are iffy. They're one of those teams where like you'd expect them to win, but they're not always going to win. If you kind of feel what I'm trying to say there, it's like, okay, they're sitting at 8-5, but they very well could finish the year at 8-9. I mean, it's a very real possibility, I think. But I don't think that's going to happen. I can see them going 9-7 maybe to finish the year, or 9-8, excuse me, or maybe 10-6, something like that. So I mean, it wouldn't be that bad. But I think you get the Chargers in the playoffs. Hey, maybe their fan base decides to come back a little bit. I mean, who knows? I mean, that'd be awesome because I mean, when you go there, it's basically a home game for all the away teams over there in Los Angeles for the Chargers. But then you see in the hunt there the Cleveland Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Denver Broncos, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, geez, George, you guys need fucking Cleveland, the Cincinnati, Denver, Bills, and the Colts to just fucking start losing. You guys need to start winning ball games if you want Pittsburgh to make the playoffs. All right, it's doable. It's very, very doable. But time's ticking. Time's really ticking. You got to figure that out. But I mean, we went over the games earlier today. So I mean, it's a real possibility that we could see Pittsburgh work their way up and Buffalo will work their way out. I mean, that's a very real possibility. So that's a look at the AFC playoff picture and the NFC playoff picture we just did a little bit ago. So one more piece of information tonight. We have Tom Brady, Man in the Arena, episode 5 airs tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time. It's already out, all right, on ESPN Plus, unless you have TV and you want to wait. I think it's on TV. I think that's why they have the airtime and stuff of when it comes out and stuff because, yeah, you go on ESPN Plus, it's already up. The last one was their 18-0 season, getting destroyed, being 18-1, losing the New York Giants in the Super Bowl. due to a fucking helmet catch by David Tyree and then to end the game, Plaxico Burress with a touchdown. It was a it was a heartbreaker to relive that, but tonight I get to relive yet another one. This one wasn't an undefeated season, but this one I think is the New England Patriots playing the New York Giants and losing once again. So it'll be interesting to see who else is speaking in the documentary. Because last week it was Michael Strahan, who, by the way, he just went to fucking space and came down and was here for Fox NFL Sunday. Hey, I'm jealous, man. I would love to go up there just to see what the fuck is going on. Like, I would just love to. That'd be life changing. That'd be awesome to see that. So good for him. But I'm going back or whatever. Michael Strahan, Randy Moss, they were on the documentary talking about that undefeated season, talking about the Giants and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to kind of see who is going to be in tonight's documentary. Not really sure. But it should be a good one. Episode 5, Man in the Arena, Tom Brady, tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time. Or if you want to go right now, it's on ESPN Plus. You can take a gander. I believe episodes 1 through 5 are all on there, so you can kind of catch up if you've missed anyone. So, hey, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether that be on Facebook or YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hey, hit that subscribe button real quick for me. That'd be fucking sweet, if you know what I'm saying. But go enjoy the rest of your night. Go watch Man in the Arena, Tom Brady, and let's get ready to have one hell of a week. We'll see you tomorrow, and you just got your fix with the Wicks. Have a great one, folks.